Good morning. Okay, we're going to get started here shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to display the risk disclosure, reminding everyone how this information should be treated and to worry. All right. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Keith. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Want to make sure I'm able to get through all of this before the Marcus, I host pre-market reviews on a daily basis, from Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 9:30. Okay. Although the channel will be going through a little bit of a I guess transition. Okay. These reviews will be behind a membership. Okay. Starting December 1st. Okay. So I would encourage you, if you're not already, to become a subscriber, because I will have some special pricing for existing subscribers. Okay. All right, Sepadia. Well, good morning. All right. So again, guys, just want to remind everyone that the content that is being distributed is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of this information is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of this information. Future trading does contain a substantial amount of risk and is not for every investor. An investor could lose all or more of their investment capital, and only risk capital, money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle, should be used when trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that I have the risk disclosure out of the way, we'll go ahead and move into the news and see what news we have in store today. It appears that news is relatively light, although we have a fair amount of news coming in tomorrow. Okay, we have FOMC meeting minutes, which could certainly affect the market. Then we have more news coming remainder of the week. Wednesday being a very particularly big day in news. Okay, it is a short week. We do have holidays coming up here. So that could also impact how markets move this week. Okay. So, but for today, we have, some no yield information coming out at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then we have our normal option expiration that happens at 10 a.m. European option expirations that could potentially have an impact on the market as well. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten the news out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the markets. Okay. We'll go ahead and open up the portal here, or my trading portal, and we'll go ahead and start with the market that we normally start with, and that's the gold market. Okay, so I'm going to turn off some of these levels here and come back to them. And again, kind of start, since it's the beginning of the week, kind of get a sense for, what the market is trying to accomplish here. Okay, and go from there. Okay, so looking at the daily chart, I think everyone would agree that the market has been on a steady climb. Okay, we had a very strong week last week in the gold market, and looks like it has found at least for now has found some sellers up and around this 27.25 level, which was a prior level of support, has now become resistant. Okay. This area here. Okay. So we had price break below. Okay. We had price break below that level. Now it's come up to retest the same level that it broke. What was supportive has now potentially become resistant. Okay. So we have a developing bearish candle. Don't know whether this is going to turn out to be an engulfing candle as of yet, because we just barely started, or actually we're still well into the day. We won't know that until later this afternoon. Okay. All right. So the daily chart indicating maybe that has found some sellers in an otherwise market that has kind of maybe rallied, okay, for some time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, okay. Could be coming into an area where we could see some sellers step in based on what we're seeing in the chart, based on what we can review on the chart as we look to the left, okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart, okay, 4-hour chart. Again, we are near that level that I had mentioned. We received some reaction away from it. We came down to another kind of minor level of consolidation, and so far have kind of rallied away from it. Okay. Volume delta is telling us that maybe there is some momentum to the positive side in this market. ADX is also telling us the same. Okay. We're getting our positive DI kind of bouncing off the top of our negative DI. One thing that I'm not, I guess we kind of see maybe some momentum, kind of lose some momentum here. Okay. But nonetheless, the positive DI does remain above our negative DI. So there still appears to be some upside opportunity in this market. Okay. So we'll have to see how this current candle closes. Right now we're kind of in the, kind of in the middles, I would say, of this swing that it made here overnight. Okay. And so the question is are we going to get a new low? And if so, we want to see a close below 2668, and that would kind of open up the door for us maybe to revisit prices, lower prices, like 2637. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay. This is kind of where we do a little bit of volume analysis here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile here. We're going to locate the open from Friday here. Okay. From 8:30 to the close of the session. Okay. Right about 4:30 there. And you can see that price is currently below value. Okay. So this area here is, well, it's an indication that sellers are still very much in control of this market. I'm not going to draw that in this checkered color, but we'll make this a solid line, and we'll make this blue because that's value area low. Okay. So we have our value area range. We see that price is below that range. So that tells us that the market participants that are in control of this market are bearish. Okay. So we have a developing bearish, actually almost looks like a bearish engulfing candle at the moment. Okay. Right against our daily VWAP. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add the anchor VWAP to this review. All right. I'm gonna choose this pivot. Okay. This pivot happened at the start of the session here. Let's see, what did London do? London attempted to bring this back up. So let's see if I can locate here an area. Okay. So we're kind of in this kind of are we bullish? Are we bearish? Kind of in the decision area. Okay. So we have a bearish engulfing candle, which indicates that maybe there might be some further downside momentum in this market. Okay. I'd like to see price get below this anchor VWAP, below the control of the London session, okay, to really give me an indication that this downside move has some legs to it, okay? Otherwise, we could be in the midst of maybe developing a impulsive move to the upside. I see 26 or 2700 still remaining being an area of importance in this market. I could easily see price, make its way up to say 2700 or so, and reverse away from that. Okay, that would be kind of another area where I could see price, stall. Okay. If we do manage to close inside value, well, then we open up the door for the possibility of making a full rotation through value and revisiting some of these higher prices. But for right now, I would say that these are probably the two more likely scenarios. I think we maybe there's another leg lower, I think, in the gold market based on what I'm seeing here on the 30-minute chart. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go ahead and add our levels to this chart. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our levels here. We'll just go ahead and paste those in. Okay, this is what we're looking at today. We're going to go ahead and open up our ADR, average daily range, and see where that places us and kind of confirm that. So our average daily range has already been exceeded to the downside, okay, which is also another indication that maybe there is maybe the potential of a sustained kind of move to the downside, okay. Our ASR is, let's see, you're going to go ahead and open that up here as well. We've kind of reached the top end of London here on the ASR side, also kind of reversing away from it. Okay, again, another indication that maybe we might see is the potential of further downside. Okay, the last thing I want to add to this chart is our initial balance range. If I can locate it here, there it is. Okay, our initial balance range is established. Okay, so we'll have to see how price reacts to initial balance. If we do get a close below, okay, let's close below seems like the more likely path at the moment. Okay, but if we get a close below, then I would be interested in an opportunity, okay, that would maybe use the initial balance low as an opportunity for a continuation trade to the downside. Okay, that's probably my first hypo for this market. Okay, that we get a nice break of initial balance, a break of average daily range, average daily range, VWAP, daily VWAP, anchor VWAP, and provide us a little bit of an extension to the downside. And then at which point we could, use the initial balance low as an opportunity for a move maybe back down to this level 2652, okay, which would be very nice. More likely maybe down to 2670, okay, somewhere in that range, okay. Gold is this wrong? No, 830 is it's 830 Eastern, okay, not Central. 8:30 Eastern, not Central. Okay, so this area right here would be a nice area, I would say, to maybe provide us a short opportunity in this market. Okay, and that would then maybe potentially give us a move back down to the lows of the London, maybe 2665, somewhere in that range. Okay, 2666, somewhere in that range. All right. If I'm more bullish on the market, well, I need to see more bullish behavior. Okay. And some of the bullish areas that I would be interested in is basically the same areas we're using as targets for potential move to the downside. Okay. Maybe some of these levels down below 2665, 2660, somewhere in those range would be an area that I would be interested in maybe potentially taking a long trade. Okay. So you can see here that our volume delta is starting to pick up a little bit of volume to the downside here. Okay, you can see that this volume is greater than any volume that preceded it since the start of London. Okay, our ADX or DMI indicator, our DI remains above our positive. Although I have to admit that the momentum isn't, sloping higher either. Okay. So not seeing exactly the momentum that I would like to see, although volume, there is a fair amount of sell volume coming into this market. Okay. So those are, I guess, kind of the things that I'm looking at in this market. I think right now, I think we would probably be better served in looking for opportunities to the short side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for price to break initial balance. Okay. I'd like to see price make a new low and then retrace back to the same level that it broke, and maybe 2679.50 might be an area that I might be interested in taking an execution, and that would be to the downside. Okay. So I'm going to pause here to see if there's any questions on the hypo or the analysis that I've done so far. Obviously, if price makes a new high, then this analysis to the downside will probably need to be kind of moved to the back a bit, and maybe we need to wait for maybe some higher prices here to look for that same opportunity to the downside. Okay. Right. So we'll have to see what this current 30-minute candle does. Okay, in the next 6 minutes, to see what kind of candle does it produce. Does it produce a bearish engulfing candle, in which case our hypo number one that we might see some further downside starts to pick up some steam, or is this area going to serve, because looks like there's a fair number of buyers here? Does does London continue its pushing this market higher? Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. Okay. Taking a pause here to see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing any questions, so we'll go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. Crude oil market. Let's see. We got settlement. We got all of these things levels already captured here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. All right. So here we are. We'll expand this out here. We'll turn off some of the same levels that we've been tracking on the other chart. Okay. Initial balance is not yet available. Market has yet to open. Okay. So here we are looking at the daily chart. Okay. Here we are. And we need to ask ourselves the question, well, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, looking at this chart, outside of being in a range from 77 or 78 to 67, okay, outside of being in some sort of range here, the market has tried to head higher. Okay. We've had a very strong bullish engulfing candle here, followed by a very light retracement, followed by another move to the upside. Okay. Now we are coming into an area where we could see some resistance, right? We are seeing that this area in the past has produced some sellers. Okay, so we have to be wary of that. Okay, this area could still be resistant. Okay, I'm going to kind of draw this area in. Okay, this area right here could still be resistant and offer us another opportunity to the downside in this market. Okay. So this could be another area where we could see reversal in price action. Now, if this move is indeed has the resources to make it happen, me personally would like to see price get above, let's say 72.50. Okay, 72.50. Get above this level, and then look to maybe use that same level as an opportunity for a bullish move in this market. Okay, so I need to see some evidence, more evidence, that it's able to break some structure to the upside in order for me to begin to embrace long trades. Okay, right now I feel like we're still kind of in control of the bearish. Okay, we're seeing a bearish, not quite an engulfing candle, but not a necessarily weak bearish candle either. Okay. And it appears to be supported by some volume to the downside. Yes, it is resistance, Radion. Okay, so if that's the case, if it's going to serve as resistance, this would be a logical location for price to reverse again back down. Okay. If price breaks through this area, I'm not going to be part of this breakthrough. I'm going to be part of the pullback, right? I'm going to be that person that's going to be stuck in this area around 72.62 to see how I might be able to take advantage of that move to the upside. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart. Again, we are, we've made our series of higher highs and higher lows. Cannot deny that, right? The only thing that I'm saying is that we are coming into an area where we could see some resistance, okay, in the market. This could cause the market to pull back maybe a little bit more significantly than we've seen up till now, right? We are in a very nice, I would say, a very nice channel to the upside on the 4-hour chart, okay? So you can see here we are in a very nice channel to the upside, challenging the bottom end of that channel, right? So again, if I see, price kind of, crack below this level, then that again would be evidence for some further downside move in this market. Okay. Right. But I need to see some price evidence or some price events to indicate that is in play. Okay. Right now we're kind of in sort of indecision, an area of indecision. Okay. That could go either direction. It could go higher from here. It could break below this channel and head lower. Okay. All right. So 30-minute chart. Let's look at this 30-minute chart. I'll remove this because that was just a marker for me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and remove this channel for now. All right. And kind of take a look at what the 30-minute chart is telling us. Okay. So I'm going to widen this out, make sure we got proper context of this market. We're going to go ahead and open up fixed range volume profile. Again, we're going to start with the open of the session here on Friday and drag across, okay, to the close of the session, which is right about here. Okay, there we are. So price is in and around value, currently reacting away from value area low. Okay, again, this could be kind of a logical area for maybe price to make its continuation move to the upside. Okay, using value area low as kind of our, how you say, line in the sand. Okay, area where we can use and reference and manage our risk. Not super inclined to, get in on a trade when I see such a daunting bearish candle. But if we do manage to hold above this level, this area does provide a reasonable area to manage our risk. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw this in here, right? This does provide us a reasonable area to manage our risk. Going to shorten this in a little bit, okay, to encompass everything that I would like to encompass here. And we're going to go ahead and make this green, okay? So again, this level here provides us a nice maybe area where we could potentially see a reversal. I'd like to see some sort of 3-bar kind of reversal pattern, either on a 15 or a 30-minute chart, in order for me to really embrace that move, okay? Otherwise, this area could kind of continue to the downside, and we obviously have quite a bit of room to the downside in this market. Okay, down to 69.70 is not out of the question if we manage to get below 70.43. Okay, all right. Let's see. Initial balance range just opened, so we'll just go ahead and open that initial balance range. Let's see if we can locate that right there. Okay, there's our initial balance range that's developing. We'll still need to wait for another 30-minute candle in order for this to get established. Okay, so right now, I would say that, again, we are in an area of demand in an otherwise kind of rangy market. Okay, we are below our daily VWAP, and I'm going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP here to the start of London here somewhere. Where is the start of London? Right about here. Okay. This is the start of London. So we're seeing that price is below both those levels. Okay. So really, for me to begin thinking about maybe there might be an opportunity here to the upside, I really need to see price get above the daily VWAP and above the anchor VWAP to begin to consider that. Okay. If it cannot get above either of those two levels, then I'm kind of limited to look at further downside move in this market. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. In order to really be bullish, I would say that you need to see price get above this level here. Okay, it needs to get above. What is that? We'll just shorten this, make this a dashed line. Okay, we'll put this as red. Okay, so it really needs to get above 71.20. Okay, may not be in the cards. All right, today. Okay, looks like there is a fair amount of downside pressure in this market. You see that we are seeing volume delta kind of increase in volume. That's a good indication that maybe there is some momentum to the downside in this move. Okay, our negative DI is spiking, and our ADX indicator is also gaining some momentum. So there is a fair amount of further momentum here to the downside. I would say that the key is that we need to see if price can get below 70.45, and then we can use 70.45 as an area, because it's also right now currently initial balance low, but we're still only like 5 minutes or 3 minutes into this. So this is probably a little bit premature to use this as a necessary level, but an area nonetheless. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm kind of looking at. Before I would entertain a trade. So ideally, right now, I need to wait for this 30-minute candle to kind of pick a direction. I wait for this initial balance to break either to the upside or to the downside. This looks like it wants to break down, okay, to the downside. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And if so, then I don't want to participate on that first impulse move. I want to participate in some sort of retracement of that move. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Okay, all right. As crude oil continues to sell off here. Wow. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and support change to resistance. Correct. So this area right here is now an area 70.46. If it manages to close below, this is an area that I would like to maybe potentially look to participate in a short trade. Certainly 70.68, which is value area low, is another area. So this whole area for me has kind of, I'm going to keep it as green, but I more than likely this is going to change red, right? This area has now, we've gotten price below. We have yet to close below, okay? We have yet to close below. Maybe I'm a little premature in making that switch. But if we do close below, then this changes polarity from support to resistance, okay? But I do need to see this candle close below this area, okay? All right, let's go ahead and add our levels to this market here. All right, so here we are. We got good news from Middle East, okay? I don't know what good news that is, but in any case, like I said, I'm going to be interested to see what this current candle does. Does it close below, or is it going to serve as kind of a sweep of liquidity here and head higher? Okay, that's certainly a possibility. Okay, oftentimes when we are in some sort of breakout zone, oftentimes it's just an area for participants to reverse price. Okay. But if it does close, then I'm going to be looking at these areas, like I said before, as areas for potential entry in the market. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Well, before I move on to the equity markets, guys, I do see we have kind of like 50% participation in the likes here. So I'm going to, kind of give my little marketing spiel here a little bit and encourage folks to hit the like button if you've benefited from what I've shared so far, okay, with respect to crude oil and the gold, okay. And if you're not currently a subscriber, it would be wise, I would say, to have agreed to the terms of an agreement to end the. Oh, okay, excellent. Okay, all right. If you're not currently a subscriber, I would encourage you to do so, because the review that I'm doing right now is going to be behind a membership wall coming starting on the December 1st. So I will be giving a special pricing to those folks who are subscribers. So I would encourage you to, hit the subscribe button to take advantage of that opportunity. Okay. All right. Now that I got a few, ticks to the on the likes, we'll go ahead and move on to the equity markets. We are seeing a little bit of a sell off in the crude oil market. So I don't see any reason why we cannot get down to 69.70 in this market before we see any sort of reversal in price. And the fact that maybe there's a little bit of a calming in the Middle East that could maybe drive prices even further lower. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the equity markets. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start with the NASDAQ. Okay. If I can locate it. All right. We're going to go ahead and change this. Okay. There's a NASDAQ. Looks like it's rallying pre-market. Okay. So let's go ahead and open this up here and then turn some of these levels off. And then we'll start to take a look at the daily chart. Okay. And ask the same question we've asked of all the markets so far. What is the daily trying to accomplish? Well, it looks like we got a little bit of a gap open. Okay. I don't know if that's the result of any sort of rollover activity, but we did get a gap open. All right. Which indicates that obviously there's a fair amount of momentum to the upside. Okay. We see the momentum is to the upside. We see that the positive DI is also peaking above the momentum here on the ADX. So market is trying to head higher. Okay. As much as we'd like maybe to see a little bit more deeper pullback, market is looking to head in the bullish direction. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is also giving us a kind of an equal, sense that we are moving higher here, right? We have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay. So again, we're also above our ADX, that means above our daily VWAP. Our positive DI is peaking above our negative DI. Although the momentum really hasn't picked up, would like to see this kind of maybe start to slope in the same direction as we're seeing the price at the moment. Okay. Moving into the 30-minute chart. Okay. So here we are, 30-minute chart. Looking at these levels here, we are above some of the indicators that we care about. Let's see if I could open up EMA here. Okay, so EMA, we're above our EMA levels. This is a 233-day EMA. That's also indicating more bullish behavior. Okay, or sentiment. We're above our above our daily VWAP. Okay, and we'll go ahead and draw in our anchored VWAP. Okay, here's our anchored VWAP. Looking at 630 here. Our anchor VWAP is also above. The next thing I'm going to be drawing here is our fixed range volume profile. Locate that on our charts. We're going to go ahead and drag that across. Okay. Here we are. There's our prices well above our value. Okay. So also indicating that there's a fair amount of momentum or fair amount of sentiment to the bullish side. Okay. There's our value area low, a value area high, I should say. Everything is pointing to further upside price. Okay. So we'll have to see what kind of levels we have here to the left of us to see what areas maybe that we could see price get to. Okay. So I would say right now we're already at 21,000. I see some, areas here right around 21,000, 200, maybe that's an area where price could potentially, be a target to the upside, two, be an area of resistance at some point. I don't know whether that happens today or not, but that's an area that I'd like to keep an eye on. Okay. We've done our anchor VWAP. We've done our VWAP, our volume profile. We're going to go ahead and add our levels to this market. Okay. Initial balance is still not in play here. Market has not opened. We have about 12 or 18 minutes before that happens. Okay. So here we are. So there's that 4-hour supply that I was telling you about, right? That's exactly where I drew my line, this 4-hour supply zone. I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR. So we're a little bit away from ADR at this point. I don't see any reason why we won't get to ADR high here. Okay. I'm not seeing anything in its path. Okay. 21,100 seems like a reasonable level to get to, at least to the upside, before we see any sort of turn. Okay. So yeah, NASDAQ is looking quite bullish, I would say. Not seeing anything that would maybe get in this way. It could be. I wouldn't necessarily sell it at the current level. I would probably want to sell at maybe slightly higher prices here. I think 21,200 is a good reference. 21,100 would be a good level, maybe up to 21,200. One of those two areas might be an area that I would maybe consider. Okay. But yeah, I mean, certainly there may be some truth to what you're saying there. Okay. Trying to maybe trap some buyers in these areas only to take the market down. That's certainly possible. Okay. Cannot rule that out. Okay. All right. Volume seems to be supportive of the move. ADX is indications that they're supportive of the move. So if we are sellers, we need to wait for higher prices, right? We need to locate a reference level where it would be reasonable to take, okay, a short trade. I wouldn't say necessarily that this current level is it, okay? I would say that maybe a little bit higher, pricey, maybe 21,100, maybe up to a 4-hour supply like 21,200. Those would maybe be a couple of areas that I would maybe look for that, okay? All right. Let's see. Anything else do I want to say about this market? No, other than it looks to be bullish. It's going to be interesting for me to see how this initial balance range opens up and whether we, continue in this trek or whether we start to see signs that we are going to maybe reverse in price. Okay. Our settlement is also below. Okay. So this settlement price is also another area where maybe it would be nice to take an execution to the long side. Okay. That would be a logical area for me. A logical area for me to support along. Okay. Yes. Every strong rise is always followed by a fall. No doubt. Okay. Yeah, right now, again, I'm not seeing any evidence of it. Okay. Right now, I'm seeing bullish evidence. So I need to see, I need to start to see some evidence either on a 15-minute chart or something that indicates to me that there is some potential for some selling. Okay. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Okay. I understand that, buying at the tops is not the best course of action. All right. Our best path forward. But I need to see some bearish candles too, right? I'm not going to pick the top. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's pretty much what I have for the NASDAQ. Let's go ahead and move on to the ES. Okay. So ES is also equally as strong. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and look at the daily chart here quickly, but I suspect we are seeing the same kind of thing. We see, I don't know if the equities are going through some sort of rollover, guys, but I do see that we have a gap open here. Okay. It opened with a gap to the upside. It got above 6,000 and we're starting to see price get above and make new highs. Okay. So again, I think I've done this analysis with you guys before, but if you are a Fibonacci Elliott wave kind of person, then you would say that price is going to get to 60.58 certainly, and maybe as high as 61.82. Okay, that would be a kind of 100% extension of this swing. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the ES. I think there's still a fair amount of opportunity to the upside in this market. The fact that we got a little gap open also adds evidence to that. Now, with that said, that gap will eventually get filled. I don't know if it's necessarily going to happen today, but it will get filled at some point. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is also giving us bullish indications. We have price above our daily VWAP, above our settlement price, above our 233-day EMA, with rising volume and with a positive DI. So everything is aligned for a continuation move to the upside in this market right now. Okay. 30-minute chart. Okay. We're starting to see a break of structure to the upside. We have nice consolidation range overnight. Okay. In pre-market, we're starting to see price head higher. I don't know if it's a result of maybe it's the peace talks that are going on between Israel and Hezbollah. I'm not sure, but certainly the markets have reacted positively to whatever is going on. Okay. Again, positive DI is up. Momentum is up. Negative DI is down. Okay, indicating that there is fair amount of momentum to this move to the upside. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile to see where we're at in relation to value or volume. Okay. Volume profile. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move this across to the close of the session. Here we are. Okay. Price is well above, right? Well above our value area high. Okay. So indicating that the sentiment is bullish, okay, in this market. All right. This value area high also happens to be settlement price. Okay. So this area carries a little bit of weight around this 59.90, 59.90.50 is an area of, I would say that's kind of relatively important. Okay. Let's see. Anchored VWAP. We'll go ahead and draw that in. So anchor VWAP, we're going to go ahead and locate London. This is London, right? That's also showing us that price is above that. So like I said, everything is pointing to higher pricing here. Okay. Last thing I want to add to this chart is my levels. Okay, my price levels. All right, here are my price levels for this market. Okay, so here we are, the levels that we're kind of tracking in this market here. Okay, so I can see that we're rapidly approaching average session range and average daily range highs here. Okay, if I'm interested in participating in this market, given this nice push above, I would say that this area right about here, what was resistance becomes support. So this level right around here would be an area I would be interested in maybe taking an execution to the long side. I'm not going to chase this current move to the upside. I don't want to be the last person holding longs. Okay. If anything, I want to see if I can get price to come back to a level where I can manage my risk. I can manage my risk here, right? I don't have to take on too much risk and participate in the long trade. Now, if it doesn't make it back down there, I'll have to wait for some other opportunity, but I'm not going to chase it up. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anything else that I should be calling out? Any questions? I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to go ahead and review the last market. And the last market that I wanted to take a look at is the YM, the Dow. Okay. But I suspect that the Dow is probably following a lot of what we're seeing here in the other equity markets. Okay. So yeah, we're seeing that it's already exceeded ADR to the upside. We're going to go ahead and open up our average daily range, not average daily, our daily chart. Okay. And you can see that, that little Fibonacci kind of extension move that I was telling you about we've already kind of making inroads, further progress on that. Okay, on the Dow, right? So if I do this kind of move, right, back down, we've already reached the 61.8% extension and making our ways to this 100% extension with lies at 45,680. So that to me seems good morning. Can't assist this morning. GC falls. What happens? If GC falls, then generally we have equities rise. Okay. All right. That's generally the case, but not always. Okay. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we continue to see higher highs and higher lows, supported by volume and supported by our ADX indicator. Okay, so 4-hour is equally as bullish. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart, we're above our average daily range. We're above our average daily range. We're above our daily VWAP. We're above settlement. Everything is above. Okay. Moving on to our fixed range volume profile, we're going to go ahead and locate the open for Friday, drag that across to the close of Friday, and there we are. Okay, so again, price is above value. Okay, indicating that there is. You're welcome, Shark Trends. Your price is above value, indicating that there is a fair amount of momentum to the upside in this market. Okay. If I open up our anchor VWAP and look to London here, okay, then I would suspect that we are equally above this as well. Okay. So anchor VWAP, daily VWAP, all pointing up. We're already kind of above our 80 average daily range to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and open up ASR. Okay, there's our ASR level that we're kind of looking to reach. I'm going to go ahead. I don't have any specific levels here for this particular market. Okay, so we'll just have to kind of manually arrive at them. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my indicator here. We're going to go ahead and change this to where are my inputs? Custom time. Initial balance is not open at this time. It opens at this time. Value range. Okay, that's also this. Okay. All right. Initial balance is about to open here in the next 5 minutes. Here. This is a little bit too wide. What did I do? Okay. So let's add some levels that we care about. So like I said, the initial balance is still not in play here, guys. So we'll add some levels. 44,841 is our ASR high. Okay. We're already exceeding our ADR high. Okay. And then we have settlement price coming in at 44,447. Okay, that's our settlement price. And then value area high coming in at value area high seems like a long ways away. Is at 44,360. 44,360 is our value. 44,360 is our value area high. Okay. All right. Let's see. Value area low. Is 44,186. Okay, 44,186 is our value area low. And then our ADR low or ASR low is right around settlement at 44,430. So we'll just add that here. That's 41,186 is our value area low. And then our 44, what was that? 44,430. 430 is our ASR low. Okay. So just like we had mentioned in the for the other equities, the market seems quite bullish. It would be very difficult for me to participate to the long side here. To be honest, I would be more looking for maybe a little bit of a pullback for price to come back to a level where I could manage my risk a little bit better here. Maybe that would be a level here at 44,709 or 710. Seems like a more logical level for me to want to participate, maybe 715, somewhere in that range. Okay. For me to want to participate in this market to the upside. Okay. We're about 2 minutes away from this initial balance in the market, US open market opening. So I'm going to wait for that to happen. I have my levels. I have my general sentiment on direction. So now it's just a matter of waiting for my price reference levels and my price events to support my trades. Okay. So I'm going to pause here to see if there's any questions about anything that I've discussed. If there's a question that people have, if not, then we'll go ahead and close down the session here and move on to the rest of our trading. Okay. So I'm not seeing it. Okay. So no questions. Okay. So everything is perfectly clear. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and then we'll go ahead and close off the session here, guys. Again, just want to remind everyone that we are kind of transitioning to a kind of a new time in the channel here. So I will be, placing this review here behind a membership. Okay. And then, like I said before, there's going to be some special pricing for existing subscribers. Okay. So that's gonna kick off on December 1st. So if you're not a subscriber, I'd encourage you to do so. As you exit the room, I'd encourage you to hit the likes. Yes, Marcus, question. Go ahead. Yeah, you're welcome, Radion. Go ahead, Marcus, if you have a question. I've seen before where you mentioned IB high and IB low for gold starts at 7:30 Central Time and ends at 8:30 Central. See, IB high. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. So initial balance is 7:30 Central to 8:30 Central. That is correct, Marcus. Okay, you're welcome. Is NASDAQ shooting up like a rocket? Oh, look at that. It's falling like a knife. Okay. It's probably trying to wash out some weak buyers here. That's why we don't buy tops for this very reason. And that's why I don't like participating in the market pre-session. Okay. So for situations like this, so we'll go ahead and open up the initial balance range on this. It's creating a very wide initial balance. Okay. So, okay. So, let's see. I'm going to modify this to be New York here. Okay. So there's our new ranges. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have to see how this plays out. Really hasn't. I mean, this really only has fleshed out a bunch of buyers, right? A lot of buyers are kind of disappointed at the moment. Okay, but technically, it really hasn't broken any significant level below. I would say that if it gets below 21,000, right? If it gets below 21,000, then maybe we might have something. Okay, this might just be a way for the market participants to wipe out a bunch of hopeful buyers and then take the market where they want to take it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Again, I encourage you guys to hit the like buttons as you make an exit to the exit stage left or stage right. I'm not sure which one it is, but as you make an exit of the channel, don't be shy with your likes and subscribes. As I mentioned, we will be introducing a new membership channel here with a number of perks, including the daily review of these sessions. Okay. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to make myself available here in the coaches room on the Top Step server. You guys can catch me there for maybe another hour or so. And then again at our group coaching later this afternoon. Okay. So remember, guys, this week is probably going to be kind of different. Looks like we have quite a bit of price action going on. A lot of news kind of events that maybe could cause markets to move in strange ways. Also, the fact that we are coming up on a holiday here, a significant U.S. holiday here at Thanksgiving, so that could also translate to market participants leaving the markets here relatively early this week, and we'll be left with some holiday trading. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you approach the markets this week. All right. Okay, I think that's it for me, guys. We had a little bit of a flush down, only to be bought up. Okay, so we'll see. We'll have to see exactly where this takes us, whether this takes us to new lows or whether we get new highs. Only time will tell. Okay. Until then, guys, I'll either see you in the Top Step Discord server room or later today in group coaching. Okay. Until then, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have a good day.